Upgrades. Semen retention. This is a semen retention video, but I feel I need to tell everyone that it's not just about semen retention. Semen retention is just one component of how we upgrade ourselves as men, right? About becoming the most masculine, dominant forces that we can on this earth. Becoming the most virtuous, the most strong and disciplined men that we can be, right? Semen retention is just one part. Now, it is a fundamental part. I think it is absolutely essential. It's probably the biggest part because it is men's biggest weakness, right? Lust. Giving away their sexual energy. It's what makes us weak, feminine, passive aggressive, unable to deal with our own emotions and the emotions of others, aka women. It makes us unbalanced. It makes us cruel, right? It can make you cruel. But semen retention is only one part. It really is about being in a very clear state when interacting with life at all times. Because this is the only way that life can chisel you down to the work of art that it's trying to make you into, right? All of us, we feel the pain of each strike of the hammer, right? Chiseling away, breaking away different parts of the marble, right? It hurts. And most of us, when it hurts, we run. We run from it in the form of, well, obviously, masturbation, porn, could be sex addiction, could be weed. Weed, so many dudes just like, oh man, so many dudes just take one off, after a long day at work, just smoke some weed, smoke a bowl. Like, it's just the most normal thing, right? That was me for a lot of my life, right? It was weed, it was alcohol, it was the 3 or 4 beers every night after work, just to relax, right? Just to feel like you're sane again, right? Because you feel so stressed out and just imbalanced, right? You feel like you can't take on the world. You feel like you can't handle it. Right? You feel like life is dominating you. You don't feel like you're dominating life. You feel like life has a control of you. That everyone else is in control of your emotions somehow. Like they can pull the strings. Like you're not in control of your emotions. You're not in control of your desires and your urges, right? You feel out of control. And we use these crutches, weed and alcohol and, pills and partying and, maybe you're really into video games. Like video games can be one. Just the ways that you sort of just numb your mind. Video games are okay in moderation. I wouldn't say that you really want to do them that much, but they can be just kind of a relaxing and just kind of a way to relax. But again, like, you want to be interacting with life with pain, right? You're gonna have to fall in love with the pain. David Goggins has a great, I'm obviously I'm not advising. All of us know who David Goggins is, right? Everybody knows, especially men. You should know who David Goggins is, right? Just one of the most killer dudes on the planet, right? And he has this phrase, you build calluses in your mind, right? And he, obviously recommends, or he, I don't know if he recommends, but he himself, obviously lives a very difficult life. What most of us would see as that is a very difficult life. The dude, like, gets up at 4 a.m. every single morning and runs, basically a half marathon in the morning, and then he runs almost another half marathon at night, and he's like biking during the day, and he's working full time and making videos and going on book tours and all that stuff, right? But anyway, his sort of he's on to something here. He's touched on something that is crucial, that men of today, especially growing up in this digital age where everything's so easy, everything's at the click of a button, everything's just so easy to get. You can get things ordered to your house. You can get beer delivered to your house. You can get weed delivered to your house. You can, go down the street and there's alcohol there. You can get porn at the touch of a button. You can, like, everything is there. All the distractions are there for you. So easy. It's so easy to have an easy life, or what seemingly feels like an easy life. That's what you're trying to make it feel like. You want it to feel good. You don't like that it feels bad. You don't think that most men, they think that because it feels bad, it is bad. They think that because it feels bad, that it is bad, and that it's only going to get worse. And that's right? That's the key hiccup. That's the key trip up. That's the key mistake, is you think it's going to get worse because it feels bad. You're like, oh man, so stressful at work. Oh gosh, I just feel so stressed at work. And then the next day feels a little even more stressful. The next month is more stressful. You just kind of feel like you're losing your mind. Meanwhile, you're partaking in all these easy pleasures at night, right? You're vaping during the day, smoking cigarettes, drinking mass amounts of coffee, eating junk food, scrolling on your phone, That's the reason, right? Those are the reasons why it gets worse. The pain is not the problem. The pain is your savior. The pain is the chisel, right? It's the chisel that's nature and God is trying to mold you, trying to carve you into a beast. You have to see it. It's trying to carve you into an absolute monster, right? That can handle the brutality of life, that can handle all the stressors of life, that can handle this and handle that. It's trying to make your plate bigger and lighter, right? Not only is the plate bigger, you can put more on your plate, but it's lighter, right? Life is trying to make you more energy efficient. It's trying to give you upgrades. It's trying to upgrade you. It's just like a video game. You got to do the difficult things. You got to go out and slay some monsters and some demons and some bosses, kill a couple witches to up your stat points, right? You got to up your stat points. I was a huge fan of the Dark Souls games and Elden Ring. You gotta kill, get some souls, and I forget what it was in Elden Ring, but you gotta kill and get that, and then go to the fire or go to the sites of grace and upgrade yourself. Upgrade yourself. Finally, you can take a load off, and then you get your upgrades, right? Because you went through the difficult things. This is so key, and David Goggins is so right about this. The calluses of the mind. He says it like a callus of the mind. That's one way to say it, right? But it really is just like, I don't know if he really touches on the other stuff, how you're supposed to just take on life completely sober unassisted, clear. And yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, you're going to feel out of control. Trust me, you're going to feel out of control. This is anything but easy. This is why people don't do it. This is why 99% of people don't do it, and they live very average, mediocre, complacent lives that are very unhealthy and very dysfunctional oftentimes. Even if they have a partner or they're married or they have kids, their lives are often very messy, right? Very chaotic, very stressful. They're often very ill. They're in the hospital, or they have this disease or this ailment. They're taking pills for this and pills for that and pills for this and pills for that. They eat poorly. They really just go to work and then they come back home and just watch TV and veg out, and they never really think about anything. Like, that is a very low level of being. That is a very low level of being, right? Those are people that they constantly escape reality. They're constantly escaping the difficulty that each day presents you. You're literally given an opportunity every single day. Every single day. You're given an opportunity to be better, to get sculpted, right? To get chiseled, get a little more, off to make you just this beautiful sculpture, that's powerful. That's an absolute beast, a force to be reckoned with in this world. Every day you have this opportunity. And so many of us, men and women included, this applies for women too, by the way. It's not just men. So many of us just squander each opportunity, each day, right? Because we don't let our brains process. You have to let your brain process. Process. The only way you get better with difficult emotions, you have to process difficult emotions. You have to feel difficult emotions soberly, clearly, unassisted. You have to be there with them. And it's not like you have to like consciously think like, oh yeah, I'm feeling this difficult emotion, okay, and then write down a journal and blah, 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 blah. Like, no, your brain will do it automatically. You just have to let it sit with it. You have to let it process it. Now, it's not going to process it immediately, right? It's not like you're going to feel, say you have something stressful at work and it's the same type of stressor, right? It's the same thing that kind of keeps getting to you every single day at work, right? The first day that you go and you're just, say for the full day, you're sober, you're not jerking off, you're not partaking any substance, right? It's a full day of being sober, right? You deal with the difficulty. When you get home, you don't take a load off, you just kind of sit with it, right? It's going to feel crap. The next day, it might even be worse. It might even be worse, right? It likely will be worse. In fact, for the next week to month to 2 months, you might just feel absolutely out of your mind. Like, completely out of your mind, out of control, like you're about to, just go postal, right? This is how you're going to feel because what it's telling you, what life is telling you, is you've actually never dealt with these things. And that's why you're so bad at dealing with them. That's why you're so imbalanced. That's why you feel so crazy. That's why you feel so, right? You feel absolutely insane because you've never actually dealt with these things. Your brain's actually never processed these things. You're constantly having your brain feel good all the time. Your brain can constantly get hits of feel good, pleasure stimulators. So it doesn't have to deal with its pain. It doesn't have to register and feel its pain and register the signals, the proper signals, right? So just know that this thing takes a while. It's not immediate, and oftentimes it's going to get worse before it gets better. I cannot stress that enough. It's going to get worse before it gets better. When you come off of alcohol, or you come off of weed, or you come off of porn, or you come off of masturbation, right? For us men, especially coming off, goodness gracious, you come off masturbating, right? You start retaining your sexual energy, that masculine energy. Guys, I can't even express to you enough how much anger I've dealt with over the last year, right? There will be days where I have absolutely, I feel absolutely insane, right? I'm like, I'm like yelling in the car. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, oh, I'm so tired of life, right? Of how my life circumstance is. That's what you're starting to engage with. You're going to start to be engaging with, why is my life like this for the first time, right? That's why I'll just be like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? But then a part of me is like, I know why this is happening, right? I know why I'm getting so bent out of shape. I know why this is stressing me out. I know, all this stuff, because I've never actually dealt with this stuff. You know what I mean? I've never actually dealt with this stuff. Um, you know, um, and this is just absolutely necessary. It's absolutely necessary. Now, it's not to say that I may seem like a fairly level-headed guy when I turn on this camera, right? And, because I'm just chilling, I'm at home, like I'm just chilling, right? And I've said it in many videos that I've gotten a lot better, tremendously better at dealing with stress since starting SR, since starting semen retention, right? However, we all have our moments, right? So I will have moments. There will be times. It doesn't happen often. Most times it's way better than it used to be. I can handle so much more stress. I'm so much more clear and confident and more efficient, and just everything is better. I can work through things. I can work through things that used to stress me out that don't stress me out anymore, right? But there will be times, man, where you get tested, right? Where you're just having a difficult day. It's just one of those days, right? It's just one of those days. It's one of those times where you're just like, oh, like, come on. Like you're literally looking up, at God or the universe. And you're like, really? Like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have moments like these. You're going to have moments like these. You're going to have days like these. And it's all natural. It's good to be feeling these things. It's good to be processing these emotions. You're not crazy, right? You're not crazy. You're not unstable. You're not nothing. You're closer to healthy than most people are, actually. Let me say that again. You're closer to healthy, much closer to healthy than most people are. 99% of people are. Because 99% of people have all these things going on inside of them, and they're just suppressing it. They're just pushing it deeper and deeper down. Taking this pill, drinking this substance, smoking this, doing this, partaking in this. They're numbed out. They're not engaging. They're not here, right? They're not engaging with reality. They're not here. And because of that, their lives are crap. They look like crap. They feel like crap, right? When they're not partaking in all their stuff. You see what I mean? And they only seem healthy because they're on a ton of junk. They're on a ton of junk that like makes them feel temporarily good. Take them off all their stuff. Get them off all their assistance, all their drugs, all their this, all their that. Yo, you're going to see the demons come out. You're going to see the monster inside. Those people are unhinged, man. But for dudes doing semen retention, I felt I needed to put this in this video because it's not only about semen retention. It's not just about that, even though it is huge, right? But it's also about cleaning up the other areas of your life. And the main thing is just you want to feel the daily pains, right? You want to feel the daily challenges, the daily difficulties. You want to face them soberly, head on, with no assistance. That is really how you get chiseled. Like, you literally get chiseled. You get carved. You become like solid as rock. You become unmovable, unshakable. And these things are permanent, right? These are permanent upgrades. Once you have them, you can't lose them. Once you have this upgrade, once you have these upgrades, once you've processed certain things and dealt with them, you don't lose it. You don't lose it. It's there for good. For good. Right? I mean, maybe if you potentially if you like delved into, if you got like on a really dark path and just started like just partaking in all the drugs and alcohol and all that stuff and all the sex stuff, and possibly you might lose it. But if you just, it's permanent if you just keep on your path. It's like, you can't even be shaken by what you used to be shaken about in the past. You can't be triggered by what you used to be triggered by in the past. You can't be unbalanced by what you used to be unbalanced about in the past. Certain emotions can't affect you to nearly the extent that they did in the past. And some emotion, some it's almost like they're just gone, right? You don't even have certain reactions anymore. You don't even have certain patterns of thought that are unhealthy anymore, right? It's just, it's permanent. It's permanent. You couldn't even have these things if you tried. You couldn't even do it if you tried. This is the only way, like, we as men, we become men, right? The only way to become a man is to engage with the brutality of life head on, with cold, dead eyes, right? What do you got? All right, let's go. Throw it at me. I'm ready. That's the attitude that you have to have every single day you go out there. That's the attitude that you have to have. When the difficulties are happening, when it's really crap, when it's really stressful, be grateful. Be grateful. You're getting carved. You're getting worked on. An upgrade is being done on you. You're being upgraded, my guy. Hallelujah. Rejoice. Praise God. You're being upgraded. God is kissing you in that moment. When you're going through struggles, when you're dealing with difficult stuff, all you need to do is let it happen. You let it happen. You don't run from it. You let it happen. And the pain, you start to feel like when it's happening, when you're dealing with difficult stuff, that pain, right? That pain that, you just have certain emotions and you're just like, oh, this feels like, you just don't feel good, right? It starts to, like, you start to recognize that over and over and over again. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I'm being worked on right now. Like, pain is like weakness leaving the body, right? I'm being purified right now. I'm getting upgraded right now. Okay, I see what's going on. I see what's going on. I'm being rewired right now, right? You're being rewired. That's why it hurts. That's why it hurts so much, you know. But crucial, crucial. It's like, for me, it's like the single biggest thing for men. We need to live like this. We need to view life like this. This is the only way we become who we're supposed to be, you know. But yeah, keep staying strong, retaining that energy. I'll see you in the next one. That's it. That's the video.